Welcome. In this section, we would deal with some tricky questions that were asked in 2021 paper for UGC geography subject. Now, the very first question talks about which of the factors are responsible for localization of high-tech firms in Silicon Valley. So, the main feature here is agglomeration economy. Every time we have localization, there are some factors which are responsible for it, and here agglomeration economy is one of the major factors. Now the next question says, which of the following states recorded literacy rates in descending order as per the census? Now here we have Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana and Odisha. We have already jotted down the proportion of literacy across these, the male and the female literacy as well. So that's the correct answer. Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana and Odisha. Now, from census, every time you have one or two questions that are asked directly or indirectly. Now, which one of the following is a term used to find the distance between the trough from trough to crest? So, from trough to crest is known as the wave height. From the base to the crest or the trough is what is known as amplitude, and the trough to the crest, to the trough, is what is known as the wave height. From one crest to another is what is known as the wavelength. Clear? So here the correct answer would be, wave height. Okay. We have already discussed the videos where we have covered these topics, and our complete video lecture covers each of these. Now this is the question that we have covered in our GIS lecture. The cadastral maps are the large scale maps. Then you have the maps which are basically the topographical maps, followed by wall map, and the globe, which is among all these is the smallest scale. So you have, since it is the smallest scale, you have the largest area that is shown. Which of the following conceived the idea of shipping canal? A very important question. A.D. Taylor talked about a shipping canal that can exist between India and Sri Lanka, and this was an interesting project that started in 1860, and based on which the Setu Samudram project was designed on the Park Strait between India and Sri Lanka. The next is, which of the following frequency distribution is negatively skewed? So among these, D is the curve which is negatively skewed. So this side is the negatively skewed, this side is the positive. So this is the positively skewed, this is the negatively skewed, which we have covered the class on skewness in detail for the same. So we have a negatively skewed curve, a positively skewed curve, and a symmetrical distribution which occurs in the center. So statistics, a very scoring section, cover this carefully, and you can have extremely good marks with your statistics. The next is the definition for solar constant, a very direct question. So per minute solar radiation received on 1 centimeter square at the outer surface of a plane is what is known as a solar constant, a very direct question based on definition. The next is, who among the following scholars talked about examined the regional and geographical implications of growth pole theory, earlier propounded by Peru. So the theory was propounded initially by Peru, and later on it was actually examined by Baudeville. So we have covered both the theories separately in the lectures, just refer those. Extremely important question from regional development, asked off and on. The next is, which industries generate highest amount of wastewater in Ganga in Uttar Pradesh? So the correct answer is paper and pulp industry. Now after the paper and pulp industry, we do have the consumption which is followed by sugar industry and chemical industry. So paper, pulp, sugar and chemical is the right order that we can understand here. Another important question is, which of the following are methods of load movement of sediment transportation in the oceans? So in the oceans we have three important ways. Either it is through traction, which is, as you can see, the movements here. Then you have saltation, jumping on the surface, so small pebbles bouncing on the sea surface, so it's saltation, and turbulent flow, that is flow with the water, not the flocculation. So A, B and C are the correct options here. So those are some of the important methods. And then we also have suspension, solution. Those have not been mentioned, but these are some of the common methods that we talk about the load movement of sediment transportation. So this was about some of the important questions that we have covered. Now definitely I would recommend that you solve the last 5 papers for geography before you appear for your NET examination. Also keep in mind one important thing while solving the questions on geography is cover the sections of GIS, cartography, specifically from practical aspects carefully, extremely scoring, and these days a lot of questions from the statistical section are also asked. So cover them carefully before you appear for the examination. The links for practice are given below. Thanks for joining in.